I'm so excited. I just got quite a few more basket orders today for Christmas Eve for pickups. So we looked at the official total, and so far I finally did it. I reached $20,000 in sales for just gift baskets for the month of December. I'm super proud. I find every Christmas I'm getting busier and busier with baskets, so I'm proud of that. Although it can get stressful to make a lot of baskets, you know, with big orders like 20-30 baskets for brokerages, like I said, for orders that people do place, and of course keeping the store full of pre-made baskets, it can get stressful, but it's definitely worth it in the end, and I'm just so excited that I finally was able to do that. Like and comment this video. As always, we do try to answer all your questions as best as we can. I definitely think that this is a great side hustle, but please remember that your time is worth money, and you know, try not to do too much running around when picking out your items for the baskets, because again, your time is worth a lot. It's very valuable, and you know, gas is costly as well, so you have to factor all that in. I wanted to go over some basic math on how to calculate how much your basket is worth and how much you should be charging your customers. So for my situation, it's a little bit different because I don't actually have to go out and, you know, buy the products that I need. I have everything coming to my store, so that's where it is a little bit different. But keep in mind, if you are making them at home, keep in mind the time that it takes you to put the basket together, the time it takes you to collect all the products, all the different stops that you're making, you know, the gas that you're using, and of course like the materials that you're using to make the basket. So the basket bottom, the shrink wrap, the ribbon, that should be all factored into what your sale cost is going to be. So this is a basket that I would typically make for Christmas time. I do generally try to keep them like looking the same, but of course they are different based on their price amount.
Okay, so you want to get these baskets out there and you want people to know about them. The quickest and easiest way that's not going to cost you any money is by using free advertising like Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji, and buy and sell share sites in your area. And I wouldn't, you know, rely on this only, but it's the perfect way to start. Get your baskets out there, and then that gets your name out there as well. The second thing you could do is approach small stores like this who don't do their own baskets and see if you can wholesale it to them so they can charge a little bit more on top of your cost to them, and they could resell them as well. That's what we did for the first year, and it worked out well. We took about, you know, if we paid the basket vendor $50, I think we charged 70, so I think we were both making about 15 a basket. So nobody really makes too much this way, but it's a good way to get your name out there as well. And then you want to brand every basket with your logo, your address, where they can get another one. I think we do that on this one here. So yeah, it says all of our information there. You can get a basket just like this by calling this number. Naturally, the other thing you can do is build your social media pages for your new business, and simply make a few baskets, take a few pictures, add stories, you know, keep engaging with similar businesses in your area. If you want help with that, I do offer marketing services to anybody in small businesses. You can reach me in the description. I'll personally reach out to you, and we can see if we're the right fit. You could also start with just your personal page and getting it out to your friends and family that way, potentially just sharing your business page to them. There's a lot of ways on social media to build this because it has an aesthetic that looks just so good on camera, and it's easy to take pictures of baskets and post them to get yourself started.
So a tip that I would suggest is definitely reaching out to real estate brokerages and individual real estate agents, because these baskets make great closing gifts or client gifts, or even you know, holiday baskets that agents would like to give their clients just to show appreciation for their business. I am a real estate agent as well, so I definitely know how much my clients appreciate when I do give a gift basket as a closing gift. I also have reached out to local agents in my area. My broker has also been a big supporter of our baskets as well. She orders a lot at Christmas time, and they just make great gifts, and it's a great way to get your name out there, and of course to grow your business. Basically like a basket based on current trends. So a lot of people like non-perishable baskets that are like charcuterie themed, so things that they can use when they have people over, like spreads, crackers, you know, snacks, different things like that that they can just put out to their guests. Okay, so for the base, I am using a charger plate. It's about 10 inches, give or take. These you can get anywhere, but I find the best places to get it is at Dollar Tree or Dollarama. It'll run you about $2.50 to maybe $3.50, so they're actually good, especially when you're putting like awkward shaped items in the basket. It's easy to like assemble it. And then this is the shrink bag that I'm using. So, sorry, I crumpled it a bit, but the dimensions are 29 by 34, and I get them just off of Uline. So this is everything that I am putting in this basket. Typically, I usually do like a more non-perishable basket, charcuterie style, but I'm actually gifting this to our neighbors next door who they buy a lot of snacks, so that's the theme that I'm going for. I would recommend to try to stick to strictly non-perishable items, especially if you are having to deliver, because putting like fruit and whatnot in baskets can cause other issues, especially if it's hot or too cold outside. You don't want to be dealing with that. It's just an added thing that you have to deal with that you really don't want to. Okay, I forgot these, but these are also going in there. So this is about like $45-ish. So once I'm done the basket, I would normally charge about $80 for it. That price will include like the bottom of the basket, the shrink bag, the bow, and then of course like my time to put it together. Also another thing, if you are buying products or you're using products from your business, make sure you're taking the price tags off it. A, it looks tacky if they're on, and B, you obviously don't want the recipient to see the price tags. Okay, so the first thing I do to assemble is I roll down the bag from the top. I didn't do it on camera because it is a little noisy. And then I start with putting the base at the bottom. You want to try to get it in the center so that it's even on both sides. Okay, the next thing I do is I always start with the bigger items in the middle and then kind of put them towards the back. So I just kind of stack things like that, and I start going around the basket. So I try to even out the sides as much as possible. So if I put something on one side, I try to put it on something else of comparable size to the other side, just so that it's more like uniform and, you know, it looks all good. So you just kind of build around it. These charger plates are easy to work with. You can really just put a bunch of stuff in here and, you know, move it around to the way that you need. Side note, I always try to get like little candies and things like this, just to fill in the little holes, make it look a little fuller than what it looks like, and you know, it's just like an added touch. It makes it look good. Alright, so now I'm going to tie it all up before I shrink the bag. So I try to gather it into the middle so that, you know, looks good. I try to pull this as much as possible so it's not wrinkled. And then I cut an rubber band elastic in half and I tie it. You don't really have to do this, but I like it because I find it keeps things more sturdier when I go to shrink the bag. Okay, so next I'm going to shrink the bag. You can use like a hair dryer. This one I've never used for that purpose, so that's why I use it for my baskets, but you can use like a heat gun. Anything, honestly, that blows heat will work. And I'm going to zip the basket. I'm gonna try to go like, top to bottom in like strips. You don't have to worry about melting anything because you're not keeping the heat on the products like for longer than a few seconds at a time. Shrunk down. I try to get the creases out as much as possible. That's why you see me holding it at the top. I try to stretch the material. Don't forget to put heat at the bottom of the basket as well to just, you know, seal it tight. I make these for a living, so I can assure you I do not melt any of the products. I know that there's been comments on my other videos, but just don't keep the heat on the product longer than necessary. Okay. Now I'm going to attach a bow. I always pre-make these, especially during the Christmas season, because it's just easier to have them and attach them. And I will attach it to the basket like that, and then I just kind of play with the bow, make sure it's like nice and fluffy and cute, and then that is it. Sometimes I trim the top as well just to make it more even. I try to get it as even as possible, but as mentioned, it is a little bit different for me because I do have all the products coming to one location. What I would suggest, and this is just like my thought process, is if you are going to do this like as a side hustle from your house, you should probably just pick a store that kind of sells a mix of everything and not, you know, waste your time driving from one location to the next. Good stores for that might be just like, you know, a bigger chain grocery store, you know, specialty stores where you can get like jams and pastas and sauces, or even depending on the type of basket you're doing, maybe like a 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐼𝐻 or a Winners or Marshalls, just depending on like what type of items you are putting in your basket. This will save you, you know, time from like driving around from place to place, and it'll also, you know, save you money on gas as well. This way you're not driving, you know, all around the city trying to collect items for a basket, because ultimately you are making them to make money. Here he goes. These are just some of the ones I've made.
These are some examples. These are heavier than I thought.
I hope this was very insightful and it helps, and I hope you guys get really busy and you get a lot of basket orders, and I just hope you guys have a great Christmas season. See ya.